Like if I read out the first sentence of the book to you, the first sentence is, it's been an interesting Monday at 7:30 a.m. when I shuddered awake to the doorbell and sleepwalked to the door. Shuddered awake is grammatically wrong. So as soon as I read it, I'm just like, it's not going to be great celebrity book, but it turned out to be better than that. Hello everyone, posting a long time video after a long time, and I'm so thankful that you have taken out these 10 minutes out of your life to come here and discuss this book with me. I'm very grateful. That's my channel, Upfront and Personal, on the TV, if you can see, amidst the lighting. And here I am reading Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Koli. Prajakta Koli is a YouTuber, very famous YouTuber by the name Mostly Sane. She just got married and released this book and released the second season of her Netflix series Mismatched in the same year. So busy moment. I'm going to do this review in 6 parts: plot, character analysis, writing style, conflict, pros and cons. Let's get started. Okay, so the plot. Plot is very simple. It's about two people, Avni and Aman. Avni is a 23-year-old law student who works part-time in a bookstore because she loves books. Relative who lives in Pune. She lives in Mumbai, her grandmother lives in Pune, and her grandmother is shown to be her major support system. And then you have Aman. Aman is a very rich person. He has a family business called Raina Textiles. His name is Aman Raina, and he's the CEO of that. So he's a second generation businessman who has taken over the business now, and it is described as a very good looking person. So Aman just comes to shows up at Avni's bookstore one day, and Avni falls in love with this glamorous, completely beautiful, good looking Greek god of a man. And little do we know that Avni is not the person to fall for him. Aman actually went to the bookstore because he saw Avni from outside and really got a liking for her. So that's how the romance, the love at first sight romance develops. They meet each other's friends, they talk about their lives, they start hanging out. They both live in Mumbai. Avni goes to meet his parents for their anniversary, etc. Then a conflict happens, resolved, everything is beautiful. That's the entire plot. And spoilers, but yeah. Character analysis. There are only 2 fleshed out characters in there, Avni and Aman. Avni is described as this nerdish, bookish character, and Aman is this, a person born with golden spoon, but is a very kind and like good-hearted person. He's not somebody who has like an air about himself that, oh, I'm so rich and I have all of these legacies. Nothing like that. He loves Avni for who she is. Avni is described as a very type A person who gets good grades, gets into law school, does everything right. So that's her thing. But she's also described as somebody who is guarded. There is a thing that gets discovered in the later, like last 20-30 pages of the book, that why is she so guarded? She's so guarded when Aman asks her to be his girlfriend, she says she couldn't answer, and she sort of like storms off at that time. She knows that she's falling for this guy, and she tries to keep herself from falling for this guy. But again, in love stories like that, a simple love story, the characters are pretty straightforward. Now, let's look at conflict. The conflict actually is that she goes with Aman to Mussoorie for an anniversary dinner of his parents, and of course it's very lavish. She does not come from that social strata. She's a middle class woman, and Aman's older brother Gagan thinks that she's kind of a gold digger. He goes to him and he's like, listen, you can't marry Avni, she's not a girl for you. And he says, he confronts Avni and says that, listen, you have to stay away from Aman. Now this particular is very like Raja Hindustani kind of drama, right? So I understand why the author went with this, like, okay, fine, let's have this conflict. And this conflict is supposed to happen when social status is too different. And the difference of social status doesn't come when there are 2 people. It really fleshes out when you are in a public gathering. When the poor person goes to the rich person's gatherings, then it comes fleshing out. The conflict is not the problem that I have. The way the conflict is solved is so stupid. First of all, Gagan says she's a gold digger. Aman fights with Gagan that how can you say that? Then Aman goes to Avni that why are you so guarded? How this thing happens just because Gagan calls his middle class girlfriend a gold digger, an opportunist, beyond me. I don't understand how this conflict enters. So this conflict is very stupid, and Aman straight up starts yelling at Avni, Aman who has been so sweet and considerate all this while. So they fight. She tells him that, okay, this is how my parents died and that's why I'm so guarded. is sobbing, is literally a mess, packs her whole bag, they are in Mussoorie, and comes back to Mumbai, okay? Does not, this Aman, who is rich, who has like a entourage of cars, does not stop her, does not drop her. She goes to Mumbai and she starts studying, and she actually packs her bags and goes to like her Aji's or grandmother's place in Pune, starts studying from there, is sobbing, is a mess. Now, Aman, 3 months he does not show up. In the last 2 pages of the book, he fucking shows up, okay, at her convocation, I think, of law school, and says, and Avni is asking very, very right questions, okay? It's not about the fight. Why did you not text me for like 3 months? Why did you not do that? And Aman, this person who has been rooting for the entire novel, okay, he goes up and he whips away this excuse that I wanted to give you time, baby. Ek to baby. He has been calling her baby since they met. So annoying. So he calls like, baby, listen, you wanted space. So first of all, this grown-ass man is telling this grown-ass woman what she wants, after he created a completely unnecessary fight, which is very, very not his nature. I understand people snapping at people, and it happens to the best of us, but that snapping also needs to have some kind of backing, na? Then Avni and Aman, in the last 2 pages, they're fighting. And then Avni asks all the right questions, and Aman is like, oh, I have been emailing you at this Gmail ID that you gave at your book store ka cash register, which is luluyourlemons@gmail.com, some kind of fake email ID she gives. And she's like, oh, and he's like, no, I have been emailing you every day, please listen to me, baby, whatever, baby again. And she's like, oh my god, you didn't know that was a wrong email ID. I have not been receiving these emails. Oh, my hero. No idea of why did you let me sob and come from Mussoorie to Mumbai alone? Why did you let me leave? Why did you keep on fighting with me when I was sobbing? Why did you snap at me in the first place? Because your brother called me a gold digger. Your brother, who has been handed everything by your parents, has like audacity to call me a gold digger, who I am doing part-time job even when I am a student. And first of all, अगर ईमेल आईडी गलत है तो नंबर नहीं था क्या तुम्हारे पास? तुम मैसेज कर सकते थे, तुम फोन कर सकते थे, 10 चीजें होती. ईमेल कौन भेजता है किसी को? और अगर तुम्हें ये लगता है कि तुम 3 महीने से ईमेल भेज रहे हो और वो नहीं बात कर रही है, तो फिर उसके कॉन्वोकेशन पे टपकने की क्या जरूरत है भाई? तुम्हारे पास फ्रेंड्स के नंबर्स थे, सब थे, किसी से कॉन्टैक्ट किया होता. राइटिंग स्टाइल का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम यही है. आई रियली वांट टू नो, लव स्टोरीज में ना, you can write sex scenes really good, you can explain the chemistry really beautifully, character analysis, as I said, unless कोई बहुत ही बड़ा plot line है love story के बीच में, character analysis कोई deep नहीं होता है. Your strength as a writer lies in how you build up a conflict, because हर अच्छी लव स्टोरी में एक बढ़िया कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, जैसे हीरो हीरोइन जीत जाते हैं और उसके बाद फिर सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाता है. पर हैप्पीली एवर आफ्टर के पहले का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आप कैसे लिखते हो? एंड इट्स मॉडर्न एरा, देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट यू कैन राइट अबाउट. The conflict came out of nowhere. Like the last 40 pages don't make no sense. It's like everything was going good and you know how to go about that afterwards. So she's like, okay, maybe some name calling and some snapping. I don't know. I don't know. Prose, it's a good attempt. It's a decent attempt. It's a first novel, and as I said, I can really see that she loves love stories, and she loves strong female characters, because that's how she likes to portray her female lead. Even though there are contradictions, she does portray her like that. Also, I feel that the way she wrote the friendships of Avni with her friends like Martin and Maya and Ria, I think that's really commendable, because I can see that she personally maybe has a very close-knit group of friends, because she writes permanent people in life. It's very on your face. When you're writing 2 characters that come from 2 different eras of 2 different like social strata. राजा हिंदुस्तानी आई थी 2003-4 में, तब ये चलता था कि किसी की फैमिली मेंबर ने कुछ बोल दिया, कुछ हो गया. अभी भी ये चीजें हो सकती हैं, बिल्कुल हो सकती हैं. अभी भी we have shows like Made in Heaven coming up, but they are more nuanced than that. If you want to take it up, if you're on a flight, on a train, or you just want to spend a cozy rainy Sunday afternoon just snuggled, take this up. It also, the protagonist is a book lover, so you can relate to a lot of things that protagonist says. And of course, the way the chemistry is explained, another pro is that the way the chemistry is explained between the characters, that will give you butterfly, and it has all the love story masala and magic to it. So yeah, pick up Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Kohli. I'll see you in my next one.